Hey everybody, as you know, this is Mr. Hall, and I'm going to be teaching the phonics portion of your school day. So, all of the first graders will see me a lot before the end of the school year. I'm going to be teaching the phonics part to all of the first graders. Okay, well, I wish I could be doing this in person because I miss seeing you, and it's much better to teach in person, but we're going to make the most of what we've got. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to move this and I'm going to try to set up a little whiteboard here and move this in so you can see, hopefully. Okay. All right. Well, I've only got 15 minutes of video time, so we better get started. Okay, let's take a look here. What I've written across here, the top of the board, the letters A, E, I, O, U. As you know, those are our 5 vowels. And vowels are very important because every word has at least one, and vowels can be different sounds and patterns. Okay, one sound the vowel can make is the short sound. That's just that, quick and short. So let's do all of our short vowel sounds. Say them with me. Short A says A, short E says E, short I says I, short O says A, short U says A. Okay, another sound the vowel can make is the long vowel sound, and that's where the vowel says its name. So let's do the long vowel sounds. Long A says A, long E says E, long I says I, long O says O, long U says U or oo. A lot of times long U comes out as being oo. Okay? So, what have we done here? These are our 5 vowels, and each vowel by itself can make a long or short sound on its own. Okay? And that's what we're going to practice in the words down here. If we think of the last consonant as being the door, our other letters are the consonants, and I didn't draw this very well. But I'm going to put on my door, and you see the door is closed. So in each of these, that vowel is closed up by itself, usually squeezed in the middle of the word, quick and short. So this is when the vowel will make a short sound on its own. Okay? All right, so let's read each of these with a short vowel sound. And I'm still going to go ahead and point, make the sounds, then blend, put them together. Most of us are have moved past the sounding out stage, but I'm going to go ahead and keep that same pattern that you do with the cards and the words in your classroom. So let's read. Ad, mad, ed, bed, it, hit, ab, gob, us, muss. So, what have we done here? We know if that vowel is closed up by itself, usually squeezed in the middle of the word, if that last consonant is there as a door, that is when that vowel makes the short sound on its own in a word. Now, you might be thinking muss is not a real word, and it isn't, but nonsense words can be syllables or parts of bigger words, like must can be part of mustard. Okay, now let's see what we're going to do here. If that door can be closed, then it can also be opened. So what I'm doing here is I am opening that door, taking that last consonant away. Boop, open door. And now you can see in each of these, the vowel is now at the end, where it's so excited to be free, it runs out that open door and shouts out its name and makes a long sound on its own. So we're going to mark each of these open and long. Now, let's read each of these with a long vowel sound. A, may, b, b, I, hi, go, you, mew, or moo. Long U can be you or oo. So what have we done here? We know the vowel can be long on its own if it comes at the end of that word or syllable, where it can open, say its name on its own. So that's how we get a short or long vowel sound on its own in a word. Okay, I'm going to erase this off. And you might want to put me on pause. And you might want to run and get some paper. And you might want to get a pencil and some things that you can do along with me to finish up. And you can pause the video at any time if you need a little bit longer to get your materials or get something done. Okay, hopefully you've got all of the things that you need. The next thing we're going to do here very quickly is we're going to look at some bigger words, because we can find those same patterns, open, closed, long, short vowel sound on its own, in syllables of bigger words. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with this. You know, with bigger words, we can divide them into those parts or syllables. And then we can read those syllables just like little words using those same rules about vowels. And then put the syllables back together again for the bigger word. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm showing just the first syllable. You can see the vowel U at the end. So it's open. And it's going to make a long sound. So let's read this one with long U. St-oo, stew. In this second syllable, you see how the E is closed up by itself. So it's quick and short. Let's read it with a short E. D-e-n-t, dent. Put it together. Student, student. Okay? Let's go to the next one. If we look at the first syllable, we see how the vowel I is closed up by itself. So it's going to be quick and short. Let's read it with a short I. I, p, hip. Let's take a look at the second syllable. And we can see how the vowel O is at the end. So it's open. Let's read it with a long O. P, O, po. Put them together. Hip, po, hippo. Okay? Let's do our last one. Let's show just the first syllable. You can see how the vowel A is at the end. So it's open, and it's going to make its long sound. Let's read it with long A. D-a, day. Take a look at the second syllable. You see how that vowel I is closed up by itself. So it's quick and short. Let's read it with short I. V-i-d, vid. So we have day, vid, David. Okay? So what have we done here? We know that vowel can be long or short on its own as part of a bigger word. Now you may think, okay, that A is in the middle of the word, but it's at the end of the first syllable. Okay? So just like a little word inside that bigger word, it can open, say its name on its own. Okay, that's the trick with bigger words. You're going to have different vowel sounds in them because each syllable or part has its own. So you may have to try those different vowel sounds to get the right word. This would not be David, so it has to be David with a long A first. Okay? All righty. So that is a little bit with these same patterns in bigger words. You can have that vowel long or short on its own as parts of bigger words as syllables, as well as just a little word by itself. Okay? All righty. Well, now it is time for you to do a little work. So I'm going to refocus this, and you are going to take your pencil, you're going to take your paper. Now, I know you pound and tap in some of your classes. But the best way for me to show you with what we've got is I'm going to make a 3-dotted line. And we're going to use this 3-dotted line to help us sound out and now spell some words where we say it slowly and write down those letters we hear from beginning to ends. Okay? So this is how we sound out to spell. And now we're going to do some with those long, short vowel patterns, open, closed. Okay? Here's our first one. Our first one is rub. And you're going to see my hand here, rub. And then I'm going to go up and I'm going to tap out each sound on the dots. B, rub. I'm going to go back. What's first? You write it. And then we'll check. What's next? B. And what's last? Okay? Now, listen again. B, rub. Okay? You can put me on pause as you write that down. And now, let's check. Yep. You should have put R-U-B, rub. Okay? Let's try the next one, which is lot. Here's my hand to pound. Lot. Now let's tap it out. Lot. Okay, what's first? You write it on your paper and do the next word. What's next? You write it on your paper. What's last? And we have lot. You can pause me as you write that down, and then you can check it. And we should have put L-O-T, lot. Okay? All right. If we're doing a check here, each of our vowels, the U and the O, is closed up by itself, usually squeezed in the middle. So you can see here, they make that quick, short sound. Okay? Alrighty, let's do one more, which is ray. Let's do it. Ray. Ray. Now, let's spell it. What's first? What's last? A. And you write it. Ray. You can pause me and then check it. And we should have put ray. Okay? And if you see here, that vowel is at the end, so it's open long on its own. Now, this would be a nonsense word, but it could be a syllable or part of a bigger word, like ray can be part of razor. Okay? Alrighty, now let's read what we've got so far, okay? If we can write it, we can read it. Just blend the sounds and read it again. Let's read it, everybody. This is rub, lot, and ray. Okay? We have long, short vowel on its own. Open, closed. Okay, let's finish with one bigger word. And hey, we have just enough time to do this. And this is a bigger word, so just like reading it, we can divide it into those parts or syllables. Let's go. Our word is pupil. Pound it. Pupil. Do it again. Pupil. Okay, we have 2 syllables. Do the first one. Pew. Write it. And you should have put pew, and then the last syllable, pill. So let's spell the last syllable, pill. And you should have put pil, pill. If we put them together, it's pill. Long vowel on its own, open at the end of the first syllable. You can see the syllable break. Closed syllable with short I closed up by itself. So here we've done the long short vowel on its own, open, closed as part of the bigger word. Okay? That's it for